Hello folks, I'm AppFielder. Minecraft 1.18 releases on the 30th of November and has absolutely stunning new terrain generation, but all the old seeds that you knew and loved, they're gone. This is my second video showcasing 10 seeds with awesome terrain generation right at the spawn area. We've got spectacular mountains and stunning caves, so sit back and enjoy. And on to seed number one. Seed number one has a absolutely gigantic mountain right at spawn, and it's also very close to this stony shoreline looking out over the ocean and the river to the left there, or to the right now. And we have the spring water coming down the mountains, which creates a really good effect, and the oak transitioning to spruce as we get up above the snow line, and with the peaks jutting out just above the clouds, which looks absolutely amazing. So if you're after a mountain with an ocean view, this seed might just be the one for you. And then just down to the left as we swing the camera around now, we have a village as well, very, very close to the spawn. I have left the coordinates on because that's a question I get asked in the previous videos I've done on seeds a lot. So if you need to know where these things are, just pause the video, grab those coordinates, and you can teleport yourself there to check them out. The only thing that's lacking with that seed, or this seed, is the caves. Now we have some absolutely massive, gigantic cheese caves, I believe these are called. And they're really cool looking, but they're not dripstone caves and they're not lush caves as well. So if you're after either of those two and close to spawn, then this probably isn't the seed for you. Lush caves are at least 1,000 blocks out on this one. So mountain with the sea view, this is the one for you. Seed number two, and we start off on the banks, the steep banks of the river here. And behind us we have a rounded snowy peak with a village in the shadow of it and some trees which will come in handy. There's plenty of meadow and plains biome here to do all your builds on without having to chop down many trees. But in the opposite direction we have this rounded peak with an outpost on top that just looks absolutely perfect. I love it when these two things come together. That's absolutely where you'd build an outpost in real life, on top of a mountain, so you've got a great view. We'll head back now towards spawn so you can see how close we are to the spawn. It's just down in that river on the right hand side where we spawned. On this one we have a little bit in the way of dripstone caves. They're not spectacular dripstone caves, but at least we've got them, which we didn't have on the other seed. We're lacking a little bit on lush caves. Again, it's about 1,000 blocks out for the lush caves. So if you want a nice rounded peak, village, dripstone caves, maybe this is the seed for you. Seed number three is very cool indeed, and I'll show myself the door. I'm just kidding. We have an ice spikes biome to the back there, and then we have two separate mountain ranges, and they're quite unique as well. The one to the left that's just gone off the screen being quite a stony sort of peak, and the one in front we've got all these icy peaks as well with the packed ice, and they look really, really cool together. You can maybe build down in the valley below or even in between these peaks up here. Either way, if you're after a post-apocalyptic frozen world scenario, then this is an absolutely amazing seed for that. If we sort of loop around here and then head back towards that ice spikes biome, we should be able to see a little bit of that village. There we go, the village just on the right there, and the ice spikes as well. And back towards spawn, like I say, frozen apocalyptic type world, this is the one for you. Beneath ground then, we have dripstone caves again. But again, this one's struggling, no lush caves for over 1,000 blocks. Don't worry, we have lush caves that are coming. Until then, this one will do you if you're after an icy seed. Seed number four, and we start off in the jungle biome, and immediately behind us we have the rounded stony peak, and as we head and follow that peak line, it continues for quite some way. We have a nice little island down there on the bottom right that might be nice for a starter home. In the bottom left we have some dripstone there, a hint of what's to come, and we follow this peak as it sort of ends here with this more rounded section with some of the stony peak and some of the snowy peaks and some of the snow covered spruce trees as well. If we head back south towards spawn, we have this island area here with sparse jungle biome, which would be awesome for a base, I think. Just a nice size to put a really decent sized base on. Let's head back down below ground because this seed is the first one with some decent cave generation. Now it's dripstone cave generation on this one, but it is magnificent dripstone cave generation. Look at the size of those dripstone block pillars. If you wanted to build some sort of base down here, that'd be really, really cool. It would be very, very dark. I've got the night vision effect on, and these caves just go on and on and on. I think I've shown you the best cave, but there were so many to pick from. Don't take my word for it. Load up this seed and take a look. It even goes on into this abandoned mine shaft. And then that, folks, is seed number four. Seed number 5 then, folks, may look familiar because it's one of the ones that featured in the brief intro. It has some absolutely spectacular mountain ranges as we're seeing now to the left and the right, with the valley in the middle, the icy peaks to the left, the stony peaks to the right, and if we head up over the top here, the peaks just continue with the snow-topped spruce trees in the middle there. Folks, don't forget, if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know which is your favorite seed in the comments down below, and are there any seeds I should be checking out. We've also got great biome variation on this particular seed. We've got the old growth tiger biome, as it's now called, which I absolutely love. We even have a woodland mansion less than 1,000 blocks from spawn on this particular seed. And if we head back round to the left and we head to the backside of those mountains we saw earlier, this seed has another surprise in store, because let's head below ground. Here we go. It has an absolutely spectacular lush cave. We're about 600 blocks out in a diagonal line from spawn. You can see the coordinates on the screen, and this cave is beautiful. Don't forget, I've got the night vision effect on, so this cave would be much darker with the glow berries giving you some absolutely beautiful ambient lighting. This cave is absolutely spectacular. So like I say, this seed has an absolute bit of everything. Might be the perfect seed if you're starting up a server in 1.18. Seed number 5 then, folks. And we move on to seed number 6, and we start in a large jungle biome. If that's what you're after, then this seed will be great. We have some nice examples of the fairly steep banked rivers here, and then a nice little flat hill there in the sparse jungle biome, which used to be the jungle edge biome. So if you're after a jungle biome, then great seed for you. We've got a ruined portal over in the right there, and then some more of the rivers, but it's more about what's underground. And we start off in this relatively small, lush cave, but if we follow this path round, it just goes on and on and on, and then expands into some amazing caves. I mean, look at this, it's beautiful. You can get to it from the surface of the jungle, which is really cool. You can just sort of jump down into here, straight into a lush cave. And then as we head down here, you may begin to recognize the next cave because it featured in the intro, and it is spectacular. As we head up here, all these caves were joined, remember that. Just think how big this cave is. And I'm not even showing you everything on these seeds. These caves go on for miles. Look at the size of this cave. If you are after putting a base in a jungle cave, or in a lush cave rather, then this seed is absolutely magnificent. And obviously I've got the night vision effect on just so you can see the size of these caves and see everything very clearly. This will be a lot darker in survival. Seed number 7, and we start off in this beautiful dark oak forest with an ocean in the distance over there, and quite a nice hill behind us as we spin around, and then in that cave there, just a hint of the lush cave to come. And then as we turn around here, this dark oak forest is absolutely mega. It goes on for a long way. In the east, we won't actually see it, but there's a swamp area. That might be more important when it comes to 1.18. And we have some much thinner rivers than we've seen in some of the other seeds, with much shallower banks, which is a nice change. And yet again, just in the distance at the bottom of the screen there, we see the lush cave, because that's what this seed is all about. I mean, if you want a dark oak forest, then absolutely great, but boom, let's go in here. Nailed that flight into the cave. Let's see if I can nail the flight down. Here we go as we spin around. So it's an absolutely massive lush cave. Now it's slightly different from the epic lush cave in the previous seed. That was quite flat and large. This is a very big cave up and down. It goes almost from the top to the bottom of the world. Like, you can actually just wander through it, not a problem. As we fly all the way down here and spin around and try and give you a good look at this cave. Like I say, don't forget, I've got the night vision effect. I know sometimes people don't like that, but I am trying to just show you the terrain in these seeds. I'm not trying to show you the ambience of the cave. And look up, look how beautiful that cave is. That is an absolutely epic cave. Seed number 8, and we start off in a plains biome with a little bit of forest over there. And if we head up over here, we've got a nice hill heading up onto a meadow. There was a bee's nest down there. Come in handy if you want some honey. And we follow this up down a little bit down the shoreline, and we get a little bit more here. This very rocky kind of hill onto the meadow biome, which looks very nice. And then we'll spin back around here. There's a ruined portal just to the right down there. You can see it as it opens up into a cave. And then a village has formed across the river there and almost cut the river off, I would say. There's one of these really cool areas. It almost looks like a volcano or a meteor smashed into this to create this area. And that'd be a really nice area for a base. If we head back over in this direction, the opposite direction from spawn, we have this very nice icy snowy peak. Really nice area. Again, so many places just local to spawn that you could build a really nice base in if you wanted it in the shadow of the mountains or in that meteor crater, as I am now calling it. This is a pretty epic mountain. Lots of lovely, I think that's packed ice, and then a stony shore onto the river down there. Down below on this world, we were spoilt a little bit by the previous 2 seeds, Lush Caves. We do have a pretty decent dripstone cave that I'm in right now. But we don't have much in the way of Lush Caves. We do have Lush Caves within 1,000 blocks, and they're okay, but they're not spectacular like the last one. So if you want caves on this one, you'll have to make do with this dripstone cave. But there was plenty above ground on this seed that was pretty spectacular. Seed number 3 starts off on the border of a plains biome and a frozen river. Frozen plains biome probably as it goes further on, but it's these absolutely spectacular jagged peaks. This area could only be described as the Himalayas of Minecraft. It is spectacular, and there are so many of these jagged peaks in this area. Not sure I found one quite like this before, and it just goes on and on and on as well. We're 500 blocks out on the Z-axis and 200 odd blocks out on the X-axis, and now we're just looping around, and we're going to see another couple of rounded peaks and then another couple jagged peaks on the left here as we fly towards them. Yeah, beautiful. If you want jagged peaks, seed number 9 is for you. And on top of that, if we go below ground, there was a village there as well, right at spawn. Below ground, we have the dripstone cave, and it's a pretty spectacular dripstone cave. Probably the best example we'll see in all of the 10 seeds today. We are on seed number 9 after all. And since we're there, I'll just give you a quick reminder to check out some of the other videos on my channel. I've got an iron farm that works perfectly in 1.18. Been using it in my hardcore 100 days video, so check that out. And we'll spin around and take one last look at this dripstone cave before we move on to seed number 10. The last and the final seed, seed number 10, and I thought I'd pick a hot seed, seeing as how we haven't really had one in this video. So we've got this one with a very nice sized desert, which turns into a jungle over to the left there, to the west, I think. We've got some nice jungle hills here and a few more in the distance over there. It kind of cuts the jungle in half, which is quite a cool effect. That's the sparse jungle biome down there with some very nice hills in front of us, and a very shallow but very wide river as well as we head back towards the desert, because that's kind of what I want to focus on, that and the Badlands. We have this really cool feature down just in front of us here, which is an arch over the river, which I really like. Not sure I've seen that before yet in 1.18, but I'm sure it happens quite a lot. We head into the Badlands biome, and this looks a little bit like the eroded Badlands biome, and we head over the river and continue our way on. We have more Badlands, more eroded Badlands, and more of these quite shallow rivers for 1.18. A lot of the 1.18 rivers can be rather deep, so it's nice to see some of the shallower ones again. We're going to loop back around towards the spawn area right now. We're heading back into the desert. So if you want a hot spawn, or a hot seed rather, then this one may be the seed for you. If we head underground, we have another decent example of dripstone caves down below. This is the spawn area again, and boom, dripstone cave. Pretty spectacular. Actually, probably up there with seed number 9. So then, folks, 10 awesome seeds part 2. As I said, there's a part 1. Go check that video out if you haven't already. There's 10 more absolutely amazing seeds in there. Which one was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. Is there another seed I should check out? I'm planning on doing a Bedrock stroke Java video next week, because there is equivalence. So as long as I pick the correct seed number, it will work in Bedrock and Java. So give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Minecraft content. Anyway, folks, I'm Appfielder. That's all I have time for. Goodbye.